right, so what just happened just now?
I mean, you came up to us,
Uh-huh.
about our feet, and
You asked us if we could be on the YouTube
mental,
channel.
yeah,
And mental health, yeah, and sex positivity. Okay.
yeah.
Why did you say yes to the interview?
I don't know. It's not every day someone comes up to
If
you and
asks,
says, you know,
if you want to talk
your
about your
feet.
feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, just like we are both journalism students, so we go and
yeah,
ask
we go
people all the
ask
time
random people questions.
if they want to talk, and no one ever wants to talk. So
Really?
I always
So
am
we
like,
feel
yes,
the pain.
absolutely.
Good. Okay, so you relate to my struggle then, trying to talk to people. Okay, cool. All right, so how did you like my approach then? As a journalist, what was my approach like? How did you feel when I came up to you?
I mean,
Yeah, it was friendly.
it's
So
friendly,
Mm-hmm.
but excuse me. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. So on the subject matter of feet, how did you feel about that?
I was like this.
yeah, I'm showing.
I got
yeah.
those. I grew myself.
All right, cool. Put your feet up, cause I noticed you because your feet, your feet were dangling in the air. They look so nice in the sunlight touching them. Yeah, go. Yeah, do that. I like that. Okay, so I'll start with you. How do you like your feet?
I love my feet. They keep me moving.
Okay.
I'm glad I have them.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you feel about your feet?
My feet are. I walk on them,
Mhm.
so they are useful. Yeah, I would say I
they're
like
pretty-
them.
I think
I like
You
them.
like them?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about? Well, let me ask you this first. Have you ever been complimented on your feet?
Yeah, my mom.
Your mom?
My mom said you have nice feet when we were like little.
Okay. What about you?
I don't think I've ever been complimented on my feet.
Really?
Yeah.
How often do you wear open-toe shoes?
Like never.
Never really?
I guess I never wear flip-flops. When have I ever worn
Yeah,
flip-flops?
I barely see where open toe.
So,
Like,
yeah,
never.
not
I
a
agree
lot.
with
Okay. What about you? How often? Birkenstocks?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Pretty
right.
regularly. Yeah.
Okay, so if a man were to give you a compliment on your feet, how would you feel about that?
Probably, I don't know, direct into my OnlyFans. Like, you want
You have OnlyFans?
No.
Oh.
But I did market research and be like, wow, I have interested people.
Yeah.
Customers even.
So you would feel good about it or bad about it? Or how would you feel about it? Give me a feeling.
I'd say how much? Like, I'd give them a price tag, not a feeling.
Really? Okay.
I don't know, yeah. Right?
I don't
What about
know.
you?
I'd probably be like,
Like, out of
thank
the
you.
blue?
Yeah, like it's just in passing, like let's say I was walking by and I didn't ask you for an interview. I was like, oh, you have pretty feet.
Oh yeah, I'd ask you for like monetary compensation.
Monetary for giving that compliment. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want more. What about you?
I think I'd just be like, thank you. That's not a compliment I get every day. Like, thanks.
Okay.
But then
All
I'd
right.
also probably think about it later and be like, that was
That was
weird.
creepy.
That was weird.
You say creepy, really? Why creepy?
I don't know. Like,
I mean, who are you to just come up to me and
I mean,
comment
like,
on like
yeah.
a body part?
yeah.
If it was about your hair,
Yeah,
like
no, I mean, still later, I'd probably be like, don't know. I don't know. I don't like it when people
I don't like it when
talk about my appearance, even in a positive way, like
yeah.
unnecessarily. Like,
really?
yeah, it's just
I
one of
just
those
don't
things.
know,
Because
like,
I
right,
think
right,
that
right.
with women, constantly we are valued
Harassed.
highly, harassed and valued entirely on our like appearances. So then
Okay.
when someone gives you a compliment, it's just like, cool.
Thanks.
I have a thought, but
Yeah,
I can't say
cool.
it now. So
Yeah.
Okay. So do you beautify your feet?
What does that mean?
Do you get like pedicures? Do you paint your toenails? You know.
I did.
Yeah.
About 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your feet attractive then.
I just with
I would
that
say-
taking care of my body.
Right.
Like, you wash your hands.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a hygiene
I
thing.
also have like a fluorescent pink nail, so like
Yeah.
it's more like about I guess me as a person than
Yeah.
it's like expressing.
Well, when women beautify themselves, I mean, it attracts attention.
Yeah.
So if a guy is paying attention to you and gives you a compliment, why is that like taken as something uninvited, something that is like, uncalled for?
It's out of the blue.
And
I didn't ask to compliment
yeah, and
anyone.
oftentimes then it's like, oh, I like don't know you, but you're gonna like that's
Exactly.
your like I don't know. I'd rather someone just like try and talk to me than like be like you're pretty.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
So
like if you make yourself attractive, if you beautify yourself, not because you want to like have strangers compliment you on the street.
Mhm.
It makes you feel good. It makes you feel confident.
Okay. But I mean, what if the compliment is intended to make you feel good?
Well, then it's like impact versus intent. Like, you might have had a good intention.
Mhm.
But you might have potentially made this woman feel unsafe.
Okay. So how does a guy know then? So you said
It's all about awareness, and I think that like education, because like I don't have the same experience as her. She doesn't have the same experience as me, but like we can educate ourselves on each other's backgrounds and like try and understand where each other are coming from, and like have interactions and like I guess like treat each other based off of what we know now.
okay.
If there are like cautionary measures that like a guy can put in place, like to make sure you, I don't know, just like, wow, I completely just
I feel like just like
if there's a way that you can like make someone else feel safe in your presence, wouldn't that be of interest to you?
So you said it would make you feel, it would be kind of creepy. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into the mental health aspect of it.
Sure.
Do you guys have therapists?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, so have you ever heard of dialectical behavioral therapy?
No.
Okay, so with dialectical behavioral therapy, let's say like you suffer from anxiety, right? And you have a fear of approaching strangers and talking to new people. In dialectical behavioral therapy, they'll tell you to go out and approach people who are strangers and to expose yourself to that event and to do it over and over and over again so that you can learn how to cope with the uncomfortable feeling, the awkwardness of it, and to get over it. And the rationale being, what's the worst thing that can happen? If there's not a threat to your life or a threat to your health, then that anxiety, that feeling that you're feeling is non-constructive. It could be preventing you from experiencing life to the fullest and closing you off from the world and making you antisocial. So a guy giving you a compliment about your feet, what's the worst thing that could happen in that moment? Is there a threat to do you feel like there's a threat to your life or a threat to your safety if a guy were just to throw out a compliment like that? Hey, you got pretty feet.
Well, yeah, my own initial instinct is like, he's gonna kidnap me right now. Does he plan to like?
Really?
Kidnapping.
I grew up with a lot of like if a man approaches you strangely, just like he's gonna kidnap you.
So you would automatically think that something bad is going to happen like that. There's a threat to your life.
There's a chance of it. Yeah.
I wouldn't think that's like my first thought. I just think I wouldn't think about it too much.
I think it'd be weird. That's probably my first thought. And then I wouldn't have any interest in like furthering the conversation with this person.
Yeah, I guess like it's like okay, and then just like it probably wouldn't ever talk.
Like, have any
to that
of your
person
like
again.
most deepest friendships started off with like your feet?
No.
You know?
No, I guess I have not. So it's
But if it started off like that, you're saying that there's nothing that can.
Iconic way to start a friendship. Yeah.
But you don't see like anything happening further from that. If a conversation started with that, you don't say, oh, there's no friendship that's gonna come out of this.
A passing moment.
It's be a passing moment.
Yeah, I'd probably tell it to other people, but I don't know.
Okay. What about a guy who's like really into women's feet? How do you feel about that? Like he want to give you a foot massage, rub on them, kissing them, licking them, smelling them, all that.
Foot fetish? Like Tarantino?
That's what you would think? You associate it with that?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing, negative thing, positive thing, what?
Well, it's yeah, I mean,
everyone
it's not
has
my place to decide what's like your kink and stuff.
Yeah.
But how would you feel about it? Give me a feeling.
Well, it's not my place to give an opinion.
I feel indifferent.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not opposed either way.
Okay. Would you be receptive to it?
Probably.
someone-
Like I'd try anything once. Like.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're open to it though.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. If it's consensual, then like no problem.
Okay. Glad you used that word because now we're going to get to the sex positivity part. What do you know about sex positivity?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It's
What is it?
Well, sex positivity is like an attitude surrounding sex where it's not a shameful thing to be discussing. It's a healthy part of like children's education.
Mhm.
That like it's just not something to deviate from
Mhm.
conversation or like education.
Okay. What about you? What is it to you?
This is a fun question. I went to a religious high school, so I never actually had like an education on
Mhm.
sex at all. So that's kind of, it's very fun. And I've also had like traumatic instances from like myself, so like I never had like a solid backing on like what is sex.
Mm-hmm.
Not like it didn't mean anything to me, and then like it was just like it was never a good thing in my mind until like I think that within talking through like other friends and like seeing their experiences and like listening to people, I think that like that's what can like I think that is sex positivity, is like talking with it through other people, and like it doesn't even have to be like an education like a school background, but like destigmatizing like people's sexualities and sex. Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. Two major components to sex positivity is also consent and safety. So as long as those two things are present,
Yeah.
then it's considered
Sex
good.
positivity, like, also includes like teaching in whatever sense. It could be,
Yeah.
like,
And tolerating other
talking,
people
tolerating,
as
and,
well. Yeah.
talking about like healthy like communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Healthy communication, I think, is like like that is like
No,
the most
exactly.
important thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So can we see what your feet look like close up?
Yeah. If you want my Venmo, sure. Like,
I,
What about you?
I,
Are you willing to take your shoes and socks off and show off your feet?
that would be a lot for me. I
might get a
I
pass on
feel-
that one.
Yeah, I feel like my shoes would stay on, but if you would like
A shoe fit?
a shoe pick,
You don't want to show your bare feet?
nah.
No, man.
I'm chilling.
No, sir.
Okay.
It would take effort on my part to take off
Yeah.
my shoes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well then, any parting words? How did you feel about this interaction? What did you feel about it?
Chill.
Yeah, this is like a story time for me. We get to go back and tell our roommates about this, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I feel like it was
Yeah.
a good conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Was there anything good or bad about my approach? Is there any modifications I should make? Any suggestions you have to make it better?
I don't know. You're pretty good.
Yeah, I would say,
Um,
you seem very confident the entire time,
Yeah.
so like, that was good.
Okay.
And like, you were friendly, so.
All right.
That's pretty much
So it wasn't creepy talking about your feet and wanting to see your feet? You didn't feel
I mean, maybe the asking to see the feet part.
Yeah.
That was a
That was a
little
little
sus.
odd, but.
Yeah.
that was a little suspect? Why?
Yeah.
Because we don't know you, and
We
you
just
just have
discussed
these
why
thoughts.
it's sus.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why we
And
don't?
again, I'm gonna use the mental.
Because people pay
Yeah.
photos of feet, and you just want our feet for free?
And I'm gonna put the mental health aspect out there. What's the worst that could happen? You know?
You know what? You're right.
I guess.
And,
I don't know.
yeah.
What's the worst gonna happen? Someone stalk me down, try to find my feet?
See, here's the thing.
Cannibalism? I don't know.
Do you believe in the law of attraction?
Law of attraction?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can answer that right now. Yes, I am a
100%.
big.
Do you believe if you think negative, non-constructive thoughts, you attract those things from manifesting themselves?
Okay, I think that sometimes things just happen. Like, okay, you know when you're like the manifestation theory, when things are about to happen,
Mm-hmm.
so a bad thing happens and you like lose something, and that's like testing you.
Mhm.
It's not always you like bringing on bad things to yourself. Sometimes things just happen,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's a test from the universe making you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't control all situations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean,
Thoughts are basically magnetic and can attract people and things from happening to you.
yeah, I feel like that's true to a certain extent, but also like, well, I don't know if you've heard of like the concept of the ego. That's basically like that, and like identifying your psyche with like negative associations. Well, like, man, me being like, let me tell you about ego. But basically, it's like it's involved in that theory.
Mhm.
So, like, yes, negative thoughts will attract negative things in like certain aspects, but there are also like aspects that you can't control that could also be negative. And so I think like potentially blame yourself for that, like carry that guilt on yourself is like again feeding your own ego. So it's like being so like in your mind that could be more potentially harmful than it is like self-awareness.
Okay, so you're saying the ego is the thing that manifests
Like,
reality?
Like Eckhart Tolle, or,
Say again?
Like Eckhart Tolle writes about the ego a lot.
I can't hear. Say it.
Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle, he's an author.
Oh, okay.
Writes about the ego a lot. I think it's also found in like some psych studies too. Not too familiar with that side though.
I only put that out there because you keep saying like somebody's gonna kidnap you or somebody talking about feet. Is this something you're saying something bad's gonna happen? Why not think of something good coming out of it?
Then you'll,
Yeah, I would see the kidnapping thing. I was a little weirded out by the kidnapping thing. I was like,
thing
why
is
does she
just-
think someone's gonna kidnap her?
man, oh my god. What was
Like,
the question
that's a
again?
bit extreme.
No, I'm saying, you know, to think that from
Yeah.
someone giving you a compliment about your
I
feet.
think that was an extreme response.
I'd say
I'm gonna let
it
you
is
know.
a response based on my upbringing, how I was taught to like.
Yeah, but you don't
Okay.
have to. You don't have to like correspond with your upbringing. Because not everything that your parents teach you is right.
I know, but like, could be kidnapped.
You could be, but I don't know why that's your immediate response.
You could be. I mean, you could get struck by lightning. I mean,
Yeah.
you could. A plane could fall on you. But I mean, why think that?
Could literally explode right now.
Honestly, facts. Why are we even here?
You know, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Everything is just beautiful. Why think that's gonna happen? Why not think something pleasant?
You know what?
That's one of my feet.
Next time someone comes up to me and says, "You have a beautiful foot," I'm going to think it's like the biggest compliment. Now after talking about
And if someone approaches me and compliments my feet,
I'm gonna be like, "Wow,
I
thanks."
would have been like, damn, I could have gone without that, because then I wouldn't be worried about getting kidnapped.
Oh, I would just be like, "Okay, cool." I don't know.
All right, we'll leave it at that. All right, thank you very much for your time and energy. It was nice talking to you.
Take your hand.
Thank you.
Take care.
And if